from the vicious knockouts in combat sports to the thrilling races that will leave your insides without support to the insane plays on a basketball court. Astro Bros talk sports. Welcome,
That's
Astro
right.
family, to another episode of Hardwood and Astroturf, where we talk sports live. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We started a little bit late. We had a few technical difficulties. Those are sorted right now, so hopefully the show is smooth. But as always, before we get right into what we're going to talk about, let me check out how the Astro Bros doing. So, Ray Vaughn, Sir Ray, what's the action, my brother?
I am on top of the world this evening. You know, I had a certain man last week that come from me telling me about my predictions and all this thing. But if you go on the Instagram page, you can see his name
Yeah,
in red, in pure
yeah.
red. So I am ready. I'm ready for
All
this week.
right.
Looking forward for the NBA talk. You know how we do.
Nice, nice. Cody Codes, what's the action, my brother?
What's the vibe, my brother? Yeah, had absolutely insane fights last night. So nothing Royval tells me to ever take away from how I feel regardless. So I'm ready for the banter, but yeah, just ready to get it started, sir.
Nice, nice. And for those of you back home who are asking how I'm doing, hey, cool. Just chilling. Just came off watching the F1 race, so hopefully we could talk some F1 later on in the show. Exciting race today, some crazy stuff going on. So yeah, hopefully we get to talk about some F1. So we can dive right into it, people. We can talk about basketball first. This week was another fun-filled week of basketball, but we're gonna start off with our predictions. Last week we made some predictions between Heat versus Boston Celtic and the Bucks versus New York Knicks. We all know Cody's predictions when it comes to the Knicks. He tried to play off a little bit cool last week, talking about how one Saints is going to be Bucks at home, Bucks will win. But we all know how that went. But we're not going to start with Cody. We can start with Ray Vaughan. Just run us through those
Let's
predictions
go.
and tell us the scores.
So first off, the Heat. We can start off with the Heat versus Celtics. That was the first game on Thursday.
That was a
It was a
shocker.
shocker. Yes, the best way to describe it. That was an absolute shocker. The Heat were totally out of it from the jump. Well, not really from the
Yeah.
jump, but the offense was atrocious. They couldn't get anything up. They were just, I don't know, they were just, I can't even say running around the court because the offense was so stagnant. It's like there was no creation, there was no ball movement, there was no nothing. And then on top of that, it was a tough game in terms of physicality. The defense from both teams
Mhm.
was very up tempo, very aggressive, and that's what had the score pretty low at the overall score was. And I don't think I think the Heat,
I,
the Celtics scored 100. I can't remember exactly.
no, they scored 98, I believe.
Right,
Or
something
something like
somewhere
that.
around there,
So
just
they didn't
barely.
even
Yeah,
break 100
exactly.
points. That
So
was
you know that
crazy.
was one of those
Yeah.
2000s, 90s types of games. But
Yeah.
the Heat offense just faltered, and that was one of my concerns of the team going into the season. I figured the defense would be exceptional, and they would be able to keep that through the season. But the
Mhm.
offense is where it was like, well, where are you going to get it from? Many goings gets tough, and the solution for
Right.
that is supposed to be Tyler Hero, but on that night he wasn't really hitting on all cylinders as he has been so far for the season. So
I agree.
it was a really a muck fest, especially in the first half. But kudos
It was
to
dirty
yeah,
basketball,
yeah,
man.
kudos to the
Yeah.
Celtics. Kudos to the Celtics. They toughed it out. They played exceptional defense, and I mean, Jason Tatum wasn't even playing good, but Jalen Brown was backpacking as we predicted, or as he predicted, he was going to carry the team. He carried
Yeah.
them to a certain extent, and then he actually went into the game. I think it was with an injury, and from there the rest of the team was already rolling. So this is the first time that I could say that I saw the Celtics bench players and supporting cast actually lifting the team, and look at how good they could be when that is the case. You know.
Right.
So
Yeah, yeah.
great game nonetheless, and we all thought that the Heat were going to win, but that was
Yep.
one of those games. One of those games were bound to happen. It just so happened that it was a game that we thought, that we chose, that we predicted
Yeah.
a victory for them for. So yeah,
But we got mentioned though that throughout the week the Hasbro Bros is keeping contact with the predictions and everything.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we got let the fans know that Cody is a man that when this game happened, like when he lost, Cody was the man that said, I know I should not have followed Ray Vaughan on
Yeah,
this prediction.
Freddie, time I hear Royval was back in the heat, I tell myself, this isn't a good prediction. Come on. Gotta tell myself, the Heat got due for off. Yeah, every top team does do. Just got off game around the 6th or 7th game of the season or so. So sad, so not tell you.
So when you follow you got and pick the Celtics then.
I meant listening to basketball.
But I mean, anybody, Vegas, whatever betting site would have put their odds on the Heat to win based on how they were running for the past week and how the defense was looking. Nobody expected the offense to falter so, like, essentially disappear. It got extinguished.
Yeah.
Like anybody.
People always bet on form too.
Exactly.
Like, who can bet on somebody that haven't been performing
Exactly.
as good as they could have been performing?
And the Celtics weren't that team. The Celtics were not in the groove. Anything they were one of the I have a bubble of discombobulated teams. Them along with the Mavs have been in that set. And at that point in time they were at the top of that list. So there's no way that I would have expected that would have been the performance that the Heat came on and given. If that was the case, I would have expected the Celtics to win maybe against a lesser opponent, but not do that to the Heat. Yeah,
Right.
But I was having a question as to whether it was the offense that faltered or the defense of the Celtics was just much better on the night.
I think the defense was about the same. The defensive intensity was about the same they were giving, but I can't say the Celtics offense they were hitting shots. If you get what I'm saying, they were passing the ball, they were moving it around, as compared to what the Heat were doing on offense. So the Celtics had an easier time on defense because the movement wasn't there from the Heat. So I could see that they were.
The Heat was struggling.
Yeah,
in offense
it was
for
just,
sure.
Yeah, it was just like
Viola lost. Adela so
yeah.
lost. Kyle was searching for people.
Yeah,
couldn't find anybody. Yeah, it was kids on the court, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you try to say that one person tried to say good old 2000s basketball. So I really love Kobe and Shaq era. So I say good evening to the Astro Bros as well. So
shout out
yes,
to you.
yes. Good evening to you.
Another person say at this point, if the Timberwolves could beat the Bucks, anything could happen.
Okay, I know this person is just an instigator. I know me and this person has a
We can get
personal
to that,
relationship, but we ain't get to that. Don't worry.
We can get to that. So just to refresh your guys' memory, myself and Rayvon voted for, all of us actually voted for Heat to win. And obviously, we all lost that, so none of us gained any prediction points on that one. Go ahead.
I just want to say something. So that was really a poor choice on my part. Really, I really should know better. And this week's predictions, I know what we do.
I think I can just tell you what the move is. Go against Ray. Well, not gonna be prediction. Go against Ray prediction.
But that's the way to win points because clearly this didn't work.
But hey, you went. Well, we can see evidence of that exactly.
I got some talk for that. Don't worry.
Going against the grain, like you said, you should have done is what you did in prediction too. Like I said in the intro, you try to cover it up. By saying that if Bucks play home, we think the Bucks can win. And we all know that Knicks was in form. And when that game was going on, people, you guys need to understand. When that game was going on, Cody sent us a snap of the score when Bucks was about 20 points ahead.
Yep. In the first quarter.
Second quarter. No, the second. You can go group chat. We can chat no second quarter.
Man, look, I ain't even care when it was. The Bucks was ahead by 20 points, and your boy Cody shoot his shot at him.
He was ready.
As the game was going on, when Knicks actually turned up, I ain't seen no more posts come through. So I tell myself, come on.
Chat dead.
Yeah, chat done. I tell myself, look, let me put it in. Let me show he that the prediction working. So he ended up going against the grain and he lost, people. So explain this loss, Cody. We can let you go first.
This is a simple explanation. Chris Middleton caught COVID this week. How can I be accountable now for this prediction when Chris Middleton, the second best player on the Bucks, was nowhere near available for the match?
But
I feel like this one should be voided. No,
sir, because this is life.
No.
I understand. That's all part of the season.
A healthy roster. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Well,
the team expect a healthy roster. Exactly. What are you talking about?
Heat to turn up. These is things that's happening.
Exactly.
Dropping your prediction.
I ain't talking about injury. I ain't talking about COVID. Guys. Come on.
Hey, but
this is sports.
Exactly.
Wait. So injury and COVID were going hand because the same person that got COVID, if them go off the court, if them get injured, they will be off the court too. So it's the
Exactly.
same kind of effect. It's
So,
not like, well, if he was injured, he could have tried a thing on the court.
Fair enough.
Nah, he not
Yeah.
all. So I mean, it's a big hit to your prediction
Yeah.
score. You ain't scored this week. Ain't like anybody
Exactly.
in the chat hit two solid predictions. The
Yeah.
highest is one. So
I
you ain't
think
too
as
far
well,
behind.
I'm still the only person to have 2 correct predictions on a week. The first week, don't come,
All
don't
right.
come with it, right? Well, don't
Yeah,
put your
fine.
face, so don't
All
put
right.
your face. I mean,
Fine.
This is just
You-
a tournament, yo. I
Yeah,
can't believe
alright.
it. You know what happening? All right, this is no guys. We can put up the leaderboards this week. Actually, no. After the show, you can see the leaderboards. We can put up leaderboards for every single correct prediction that was made. We can see who on top. We will monitor it as the weeks go on. And just a little side note, nobody thought we speaking about it.
So,
Yeah,
so
but-
someone in chat, sorry, so someone in
Yeah,
chat
go
said, so we blaming COVID? LOL. Yes, chat, we are blaming COVID for this wrong prediction.
This
There
is-
is no way.
COVID for
Listen,
everything.
that's not an excuse.
COVID for
That's not an
everything.
excuse.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
All right.
It
So,
isn't.
so, so I
COVID
got
is
a
the
question.
patch
So if
for all of
Julius,
your worries.
so wait, if Julius Randle had COVID and could not play,
All right, I take my
Um,
losses because I can't. I
you
ain't got no
losses
control
is-
over that.
Yes,
I ain't got no control
in
over
a
that.
control.
Exactly.
But look, if it happened to me, then you will see how we react to it. I'm
bro.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be cool. Like, yeah, that's the way it goes.
Exactly. You
But
can't
me, he got 2
control.
different personalities.
You can't-
because
but you
I
can't-
fight him for mine.
You can't.
I
You
fight him for
can't.
my points.
You cannot control that. You cannot.
You gotta let
control
go
that.
about it.
Exactly. You can't put that as the excuse for
We
what
we
you
need
prediction.
some more rules. We need some more rules and and restrictions on this thing because I feel like
Man,
COVID
if
should be
you had to
void.
go on bet through a site or some third
And you place
party
your bet
and you lost
because
big
he
man,
might get COVID.
Let
What
me
you supposed
care
to
if
do?
you might have
Let me
COVID.
get my money. Let me care if he might have COVID.
You pocket burn.
I care. This show cares. This show cares about the health of the players.
Come on, man. But in all seriousness about the game though,
Yeah,
the Knicks started out super cool. I gotta give tons of
Kemba was
credit.
poor.
Yeah,
Kemba
forget
was
Kemba.
poor.
I even mentioning Derrick
No,
Rose.
but you
Derrick,
have to mention him because he's the starting point guard, right?
forget about Derrick Rose.
No, you
Derrick
gotta mention the
Rose.
man. You gotta mention that the man played poor and then transition into Derrick Rose so that people will understand the effect that Derrick Rose had on the game.
Derrick Rose was. He didn't score that big amount of points, but he was sensational. He was the driving force for the Knicks coming back into that game because truthfully, them was done bad. They was done real bad. And the bench players and the supporting cast from the Bucks team was just hitting everything. I couldn't believe it. When I was watching it, I was like, what the hell is this that going on? Julius Randle was in his dribble pull up mode, which he does throughout the game, right? But it wasn't working. And then after a while, again, this offensive groove, they were hitting. That Rose came in, made some plays, driving to the hoop. Sensational. He's my start of the game for that specific game, truthfully. And I think with that grit and that grain, they deserve that win. Truthfully.
But Julius did a very
Yeah, he did.
good job as well. He scored 32 points.
Exactly. That's true.
That was an exception.
Yeah, he found his
turned up.
He found his stroke. He was hitting. He was getting them boards. He was dishing out them passes. He had a few good passes. Some assists I feel that he should have gotten. Truthfully, the hockey assists. You pass, the next player. So he was great too. But I don't feel like he feel that win more than Derrick Rose did. Even though the box score
Right.
doesn't say it, doesn't speak it.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. I have to agree because based on what I saw, Derrick Rose was the engine. When he stepped on the court, the kind of energy that he brings to the play was real high, and I guess the Knicks feed off of that as well, off of that leadership in his energy, and he got the ball moving, which was good. And again, Julius Randle putting his 2 cents worth, well, more than that, but
Yeah.
he did very well to accompany Derrick Rose in that game. So as it goes for predictions, people, Cody 0 for the week. Myself and Rayvon gain 1 point. We can move on and talk about who's hot and who's not in the segment. Will you still say that Knicks hot?
They would have cooled off from those two games that they lost before the Bucks game, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
So no, Uh, right now, the one team that is hot from last week, that still have hot, sorry, is the Warriors. The
Yeah.
Warriors, the Warriors are on a roll. They may skip a step, they may miss a beat. I don't know what to say, man. The team, like, people probably would have thought that this would have been predicated on Steph Curry going off and what's not, but truthfully, it's
Yeah.
just great team play. Like, literally, the ball zipping around, everybody finding the open man. They're getting some openers that they're not hitting, and like we got Draymond on the floor shooting trees because he's so wide open. Because the
Yeah.
offense is so efficient, it's so effective. It's beautiful basketball. Like how they would say the San Antonio Spurs would play beautiful basketball, and the 2015, 2016 Warriors, the 73 win Warriors too.
Yeah.
They maintain that identity, and it's a beautiful sight to see. Many, I think it was Kyle Kuzma, put out
Yeah,
a tweet
cool.
saying
Mhm.
that the Warriors are playing beautiful basketball, or they're the best team right now, truthfully, and nobody could disagree, truthfully, because it's been amazing to watch, I must say.
Yeah, it seems like Steve Kerr really found a new level for his offensive play. I think like when he had KD and Clay and Steph going at it, that was obviously a great combination. But he seems to found a more team oriented offense now that really just zips the ball around and finds the most open looks and
But
the drain and
I
runs
can't,
too much for it.
yeah, I can't say that that's far from what it was before. Is you seeing blueprint? Obviously, as a coach, you got to tailor things to the players that you have. But he was able to tailor the players to the system that he has and his work too.
Yeah,
And the credit goes out to the the office, the front office, because they would have had to find players that kind of suit the philosophy that they have for the team also. But they've just been rolling, and as I say, I like I say, is that is a beautiful sight to see. Um, I think a lot of people might not have expected him to be this good star, and I've been hearing the buzz, people saying that they look good to be in the conference finals or the finals at least. But I guess I
it's a
don't
bit
know.
too early for that.
Yeah, yeah. I wanna get to ahead of myself. I still got Clear to come back, as we all know. Excited to see Clear come back, truthfully.
But
Uh,
what type of clear we getting? We
yeah.
getting 2015, 2016 clear, or are we getting a
Yeah,
reduced
probably
version of
not.
it?
Yeah, probably not that clear. But the thing is, boy, is all right. Why am I excited to see him too? Is to see how he integrates with how the team is playing on a whole now, because they give me some rough patches for him, and let me see how that it might offset the team in a negative way, but in the grand scheme of things, it will help him to get back into his groove, so he could provide that overwhelmingly positive impact that he's known for over the past couple of years. And it's crazy to think it's been two and some years that we've seen Clay Thompson play. Like,
Full seasons.
that is absolutely insane.
Yeah. We also saw that the 76ers put an Ice Cube in Bulls Cup
Yep,
this week as
yep.
well.
Yesterday,
Um, yeah,
and the game
I didn't
that
watch much of it,
Mhm.
but I don't know if you have watched
I
that game.
I didn't get to watch it, but I did see some highlights, and I did check
Hmm.
out the stats. And this was a game. This was Embiid's game, I would say. His coming out.
Hmm.
Embiid was looking like I don't know, Steph Curry with his shot. He was hitting some trees, fadeaway trees and thing. And when Embiid is hitting like that, it is totally unstoppable, because he could do that. He could go in the post, but you don't dunk on you. Like people call Chris Stotts a unicorn, but his skill set, Embiid's skill set is like a amazing blend between the old style of play and the new style of play. When I can say the new style of play, when his shot is falling.
Hmm.
I can't say that he's exceptional at shooting, but he's okay enough that you gotta respect it. Um,
Yeah.
so that was just a beautiful display of that last night, and he had that performance, that monster performance that I thought he would have had the week before against the Knicks. But it came now, and it's good to see. And the Sixers themselves have been rolling. They've been playing like a together team, despite all the Ben Simmons saga going on. Steph
Hmm.
Curry, who has a my player of the week, truthfully,
Yeah.
has been balling out. He didn't play that well last night, but his impact to the team's winning has been, I can say, underappreciated to a certain extent. And always being in the shadow of his brother, um, one of the best 3-point shooters by percentage to actually been leading the league in career 3-point percentage at almost like 45% or something like that. Um, for his whole career. Imagine that. And yeah, his the way that he has stepped up for the team has been more than I'm pretty sure that they would have expected. Given I guess most people feeling that they would have lose the playmaking and the impact of Ben Simmons over this period.
Yes. So the over Ben Simmons, do you know?
No.
They don't miss him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no, they don't miss him. Truthfully, I can't say that I do because the performance speaks for itself. You know, and
Yeah.
a good thing that I would like to say is Embiid spoke about the fact that he has to be the leader, he has to be the voice of the team, and he has done a good job of galvanizing the team amidst adversity in order to propel them in the situation that they are in now. On top of the whole league, the best record in the league right now, 8-2, I think it is, which is absolutely inspirational, I must say.
But I don't know if you saw. Embiid also took a swing at also balling.
Man, that was not nothing. That was unintentional. You could clearly see that was when the ball was going forward, as he was turning his tantrum, which he shouldn't have been, which he got attacked for. But yeah, that could have been a lot dangerous than it could have been a lot dangerous than it turned out to be.
A lot more dangerous.
Yeah.
So, that's a pop question though. Who you think wins that fight, Embiid or Lonzo?
That's even a question.
Bro.
That's even a question. Come on, man.
Man's a master instigator, yeah.
If he was on that floor, they would have fight. They would have fight for that. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Because I understand. He would look at Alonso. He would say, "You would tap that. You would tap that." Come on, man.
Typical major
Look, it's true.
We got also Nets and Suns in the hot list this
Hey.
week. KD ain't let up at all.
KD
gears don't he don't ever back down. He always on a straight.
Yeah, boy. The man is just hooping. The man is just a hooper. I don't know how to describe it. Leading the league in points, 28.9 points a game. The man just doing it. Even though the Nets struggles right now. James Harden still finding his groove. He had a pretty decent game the other night. But that last game that they played against Detroit, he was struggling.
He was struggling in that last game.
I think he did have a triple double though, still. But because he was finding teammates, giving the assists and what's not, which is always good.
But he kind of looked out of it in some pockets of the game. Like his body language looked very low and like
he just seems
unenthusiastic in a way. Like it didn't seem like he was there to play basketball on that night.
He just seems slow. I saw a tweet with Kendrick Perkins. Somebody posted it and saying James Harden right now. Kendrick Perkins trying to do all sorts of combo dribbles as slow and as big as ever. And it was like that is literally how James Harden looks right now. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad to see, but as I said last week, he talked about it. He didn't really get to do as much off season training because he was doing the rehab on the hamstring injury that he had from the postseason last season. So he is not in form, and I don't think we gotta worry about it too much. I feel like by game 20 at least he should be some way back to himself. He could hold me on that. You can hold me on that. We could chat back again 20 and see how. Yeah, you can hold me on that. You can chat back.
I ain't gonna reach it.
We can chat back by.
Pay.
That's fine. We can chat back by game 20 and see how Harden is doing on the court. I think he will be a lot better by then. And I don't know if by then Kyrie might come around with something. Who knows?
But like, are there any other reasons for why you said that Nets are hot?
Well,
other than KD,
they're on a 4-game winning streak or 3-game winning streak compared to where they were previously.
Well, that was
I think that but I still think is a bit of a turnaround, given where the conversations were pertaining to the Nets as a team previously. So I think they found a little groove. I think KD been the groove, but the players around here have found a way to step up, and it's good to see. And they're kind of resembling the team that we expect them to be. Not fully there yet, but we'll see how it goes.
What about the Suns? Just a quick mention.
You think about it, we have not talked about the Suns for the entire show.
Devin Booker.
Yes.
That is my guy.
Devin Booker had 38 last night. we know that Hooper is going to hoop, and Devin
Shooters
Booker
gonna shoot.
exactly, and Devin
Mr.
Booker.
Football.
Even though I think the Suns have been having a quiet season so far because they didn't start off kind of rocky, and a lot of people weren't talking about it. But
Mhm.
Chris Paul specifically, he wasn't. He still isn't really scoring a lot of points. Truthfully, he's just being the point guard, dishing out in games, leading the league in assists right now at 12.8 or so a game. Uh,
As he does.
yeah, well, he actually got quite a few people in double digits since it's early in the season, but yeah, like, he be dishing. So a great win for them. Good to see that they're getting into a groove themselves also. Given the whole
Mhm.
situation that's going on with their owner being, I guess, investigated for allegations. So I know that team. It's funny because Chris Paul would have went through that a same situation with Donald Stern from the Clippers when he was at the Clippers before. They had a situation there where um, there was this video, audio clip of the owner being, I guess, not racially prejudiced, but just being a racist. Truthfully,
This
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
there's any way to put it like that, but. And it's sad that he got to go in another situation where that's he is like the same thing again, a clone of the situation. So I know, given that experience though, it's good that he is on the team because he's gone through that experience and he'll be able to show the guys around how to deal with that, you know. Um,
Right.
but again, good to see that it's not affecting basketball significantly from my eyes. They're going on, getting what they need to be done, and it's great to see.
I guess they're doing a good job in keeping the curtains closed
Yeah,
and not letting too much light from the cameras and stuff from the
yeah,
reporters and journalists in. Um, what about who's not? Like there are a lot of stuff that we talked about in terms of who's hot, but who's not hot right now, right? Now?
yeah, sure.
Just before you jump in, it's a chat. So I said that Timberwolves have been looking trash as of late, and someone saying since
Okay.
2019.
Well,
Well,
we
So,
get
are
there.
let me
they?
start
Are
with
you
Get
not?
there.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, yeah.
Timberwolves is
Together.
not hot right now. Let me start with Timberwolves. Let me appease that person's appetite
Yeah.
for talk right now. Talk you talk,
Okay.
everyone. I know it is your team, but
Yeah. This is my team. I ain't got no shame about it. They've been absolutely trash. The offense has been horrible. Defense has been better than the offense, which is a
I like
surprise.
that honesty.
No. But I got to keep a spade a spade. That is
Yeah.
it is what it is. Truthfully, this team should be good on offense. You got Anthony Edwards, Carl Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell. Three offensively minded players. And coming on to the end of last season, the offense looked potent, scoring high in the 120s per game. Anthony Edwards is getting the rim, dunking on people, being a blur on the drive. I don't know where this man being a blur in transition. Uh, it's just not clicking right now, and I truthfully can't explain why, given the talent that they have. What I can say is Cat is not getting the ball enough. The last game that they played was on Friday against the Clippers. Cat shot the ball 11 times. Best player on the team shooting the ball 11 times. I know it is be a difficulty for players that are not on the wing or at the point of attack, point guards, wing players to
Mhm.
to be the focal point of a offense to a certain extent. But you see MB getting up his shots. Sometimes MB don't shoot that much because people has to set him up. If you get what I'm saying. So that's a difficulty that centers that are star players have in this league because you depend on the players who have the ball in their hand to help you to get to where you need to be. So that's a difficulty that I think the coach needs to really work out and navigate so that this team could get going. I don't know what the situation would be. I hear Anthony Edwards was talking about how they need D'Lo back because D'Lo is out with an ankle sprain. I don't know. He kind of turned into Kyrie, like he met with a glass or something too, because he's been injured a lot over the past few years, truthfully. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Even when D'Lo was there, the offense just looked stagnant. Like last game, Cat was getting double teamed. Nobody was moving to kind of help him out, really and truly. Like those sort of things. So in the half court, the offense is atrocious. The defense has been pretty okay for most of the time. That's why I think they're ranked maybe like 7th or so in defense or somewhere in the top 10, which is absolutely unheard of. I didn't personally expect that, but they're absolutely trash right now. And I guess Monday against Memphis is going to be a test for them to see if they find some way to galvanize and regroup to come out of this slump that they've been.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Any quick mentions for Hornets and Hawks?
Yeah, the Hornets are on a losing streak. I can't really speak to why that is the case, truthfully. Uh, I think Lomelo has been fine for the past few games, but I guess,
Just good basketball, I
yeah,
guess, from the other teams,
yeah, I
giving
guess
them
so.
a
Yeah,
good run.
yeah. They've been in close games. Some of them actually, to me, they seem to be the team that get blows out the most. But I think it might be a aspect of their defense that might be struggling. Haven't really gone to look into specifically what about their defense has been bad, but I think that's the only thing that I could think of that's been struggling because their guys been putting up points. Um,
Yeah.
they just
What
haven't
about
been
the
able to guard
Hawks?
people. The Hawks, the Hawks are a little tough. Trey Young has been balling. Uh, he's been getting buckets. Last game he had was getting buckets. I think he had 30 something points, 13 assists or something like that. He's another point guard in the making. I mean, Chris Paul leaves, he'll be the new point guard in the NBA, truthfully. But I don't know. I guess they're struggling to find a rhythm, especially on their supporting cast. Their supporting cast
Yeah.
was so big for them last year that propelled them into the Eastern Conference Finals. I guess they haven't really found a rhythm with that yet because some guys may out, some guys may in. You know, a little up and down. Um, John Collins himself has been pretty decent. He got paid this year. Uh, I guess they may need more from him to propel them a little bit further ahead, but I guess it's just a little bit of figuring out how to mesh with with the with the supporting cast that's not as good as they were last year coming on to the end of the year and into the postseason. So I think it's something they'll figure out, but right now they've been having a few bad games, and
Hmm.
I am confident that they will find a way to get out of it.
Nice, nice. Well, people, that will conclude our first segment of the show today. Stay tuned because when we come back, we'll be talking about this week's upcoming predictions. And yeah, see you soon. So, all right, peoples, we are back. Before we get into our upcoming week's predictions, we can talk about the game of the week in the NBA season. This game was between Mavericks and
And the
Celtics.
Celtics, yep.
Yeah. Rayvon, I think you have a clip for that, and you could just go down, man. Go down on this exciting game.
Uh, all right. So that's first of all, it was a great game. It was a close game. All the close games tend to be great games, nail
Yeah,
biters
with no
down to the wire,
biters.
down to the wire. Uh,
Yeah.
so Luka Magic. What can I say? Luka Magic. This man is sensational. He is a wizard in his own right. The things
Ben
that
Simmons need to take a bite of this page or
Ben
something,
Simmons what? Ben Simmons what?
just to learn to shoot in some tough situations. I guess.
Man, the thing about it is like Luca is not even. I can't say like Luca is an exceptional shooter or anything like that.
Mhm.
I think he's progressed his way along with his shot. How you mean, huh?
I mean, when he needs to
Luka is
shoot,
not an
he shoots.
exceptional shooter.
In
So
terms of
what would he bubble
consistency.
with? What
In
would he
terms,
bubble with?
he's an exceptional scorer, but shooter, the actual motion of shooting, he doesn't shoot. He's
Man,
not
when you
good.
get the ball in
He's
the
not
net, he's an exceptional shooter. Big
man.
man.
No, there's a difference. Listen, there's a
All
difference.
right, explain this, boss.
LeBron is an exceptional scorer, but he's not an exceptional shooter.
Oh yeah, okay.
Exactly.
I fully understand what you're saying. Yep, got it.
Like he could go extremely hot or extremely cold from 3 point line, just from shooting on the whole. Like, and when I balance him, he's about average, about average in comparison to the better shooters in the league. Same thing with Luca. Luca at the free throw line. Like, good shooters make free throws. Luca and LeBron are two examples of great players, great scorers, but struggle to shoot the ball, especially at the free throw line and at the 3 point line. And I can see Luca has come a good way because before he had a James Harden profile. He either shoot from three or drive to the basket. But now he has made the range a lot, and that is because of an improved shot. And he like, must commend him. He's worked on his craft, and it is paying off to his overall
Right.
game.
Yeah. Let's funnel back to that
Yeah,
to the game itself, though.
yeah. Like, the game was great. Celtics. Jason Tatum stepped up. Jalen Brown was out. I actually not sure what was the issue with him, but he was not on the court. Uh, Back and forth, back and forth. The Mavs were actually playing good on offense. The ball was moving. Chris Stotts was in the game and he was playing well. He was not trashy, absolute garbo like he's been for the beginning of the season. For the season, he was actually exceptional on defense. And truthfully, previously when he was on the Knicks, he was really known for his defense. And to me, he kind of fought off of that reputation coming to the Mavericks. I guess that might have been because of the injuries and what's not, but last night he looked really good on defense. He was clutch too. For as English is I'm talking about, let me just make that be clear. He was clutch. He had a clutch block late in the game, a clutch shot. I think it was a putback. Yeah, I think it was a putback from a Jalen Brunson mystery, and truthfully, he was great last night. I don't think he scored a lot of points, but his impact was felt. And I felt like a lot of times in the games past, he was just existing, trying to do his thing, but it wasn't really working out. A great shooting night from Luca. For those who didn't get to see the buzzer beater, I can show you the buzzer beater here now. And here we go. Look at this man coming down the left side of the court. And if anybody watches a lot of basketball, you will know that this is Luca's favorite spot. Absolute favorite spot. He did it against the Clippers in the bubble. He did it a game against, I can't remember who it was, but it was like this float shot that he was falling down, and he just happened to be outside the 3 point line. This kind of like a trick shot, like from outside, and he scored it. But we know it's the left side of the court in a late game situation. Everybody knows where he's going. Look at three defenders on him, and he still hits it. Crowd going well. Team is pumped. Special. Luka Magic, as we call it, Luka Magic.
I don't think it's showing.
It isn't it?
Is it?
It wasn't.
So we got you to say talking and then a big empty space.
Oh, whoa, it's showing on my screen.
technical issues there again.
Well,
Don't worry,
nonetheless,
people.
yes, nonetheless, something
gonna
that we
get it
working through.
figured
We
out.
can work it out. Something that we
Yeah,
trying
we
to
go.
incorporate. So apologies for not having the video up, but um, continue working at making the stream better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you guys do have the time to go check it out after the show, definitely go check it out because it was a insane clutch shot. Um, Dame Lillard had a slow start, 24% from trees and 35 from the field. Not typical Damian Lillard. Oh my god, that was atrocious. But yeah, not typical Dame here. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Just a little bit. Dame has been struggling, truthfully. I could say I haven't got to watch a lot of Portland games. I truthfully just can't stay up that late to watch the games. Portland games always like 10 o'clock in the night. Starting,
time zone.
Yeah, the time zone on the West Coast. It's Lakers games. Lakers fans might understand. Lakers fans in Barbados, let me see, might understand. The game starting at 11:30 in the night and all sorts of things late. Anyway, my pros and cons.
You got written it.
Exactly. Anyway, my pros and cons. I ain't trying to stay to watch a Blazers
Western
game.
fans in the East.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A Blazers game. So I haven't gotten to watch much of it, but from the clips I've seen, he just needs to find his shot. Truly, he's playing like the player that he normally is. He just isn't hitting the shots that he would normally hit. Literally that. I don't know how he could get out of his slump and find a groove. The team has been okay. I can't say they've been great, but they've been having a pretty up and down season so far, and probably predicated on the fact that Damian Lillard has been their heartbeat, truthfully, and his heart is not beating right now on the basketball court. He's ice cold, truthfully, but he did have a good game shooting the other night, getting them trees in, but game after that, same thing again. So he really needs to find some way to find his groove, get back in the flow of things. CJ McCollum is holding it down as much as he can, but he's not that player to carry you all the way. So Dame needs to get back to himself, but I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's a top 75 player. He was named the top 75 player, and that's for a reason. And I'm sure that by the time it's time for him to really get going, he will get going. So.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the fans would like to see that as well.
Yeah.
Get to see him get back to himself. So that's enough on Damian Lillard. We're gonna move into the week's predictions. We got the Jazz versus Hawks. We didn't talk a lot about the Jazz either in our talks, but Jazz versus Hawks. I actually do not have a prediction on this, really, because I haven't seen much games. But just for argument's sake, let's go with the Hawks. That's mine. I'm going with the Hawks.
Cody?
This one here where Yvonne going with first.
What you want? Hey. So he wants to be my opposition. I got to pick the Jazz for this one. They've been absolute form, and Donovan Mitchell actually has been balling out, truthfully, and quietly so. I don't think a lot of people recognize it. Also, Jordan Clarkson has been the flamethrower that he really is. We know how hot he can get. The defense is great. We got two big guys in Gobert and Clint Capella to match up against each other, which should be a fun night for the two of them. We got two kind of relatively small guards playing against each other, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young. I think it should be a fun game, but I have the Jazz to come out on top. They got their fundamentals down pat. I think they do a great job against the they have the personnel to guard the Hawks, and they'll probably give Trae Young a tough time.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
nice. You working on Cody?
unfortunately,
You have to agree with Ray.
I have to wholeheartedly agree.
What? Hey, which one is it? What?
I have to
That's a
wholeheartedly
Jacob
agree.
Mitchell, right?
No way. No way.
I gotta agree here, right? Donovan Mitchell is just my guy, absolute balling, having a good season progressively, and I think Rudy Gobert is also going to perform on the against Capella. I see him dominating that matchup all night.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Gotta
And
go
we got
with
Phoenix
Jazz.
Suns and Memphis. So that's
That was a tough one.
Ja. Yeah, that's Ja against Chris.
That is a tough one. Hmm. I don't know
Let me start
myself
with
now.
Cody for this one because Cody.
You think it's right? The Phoenix Suns are more of a team than I would say the Grizzlies. I'm sorry, they only really got Ja
The
Morant.
Ja team.
Yeah, the Ja team. So, with this one, I think Devin Booker can getting harder and harder, and then Chris Paul does the same thing.
Yeah,
So I'm really seeing the Suns coming up with a victory for this one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This one is tough because I feel like Ja could just erupt in this specific game. Um,
That's what's going on in that.
yeah,
Hey,
because
like,
given how they play
Ja might do his
defense,
thing.
yeah, given how they play defense, but they got the defenders to kind of put on Ja too at the end of the day. But I don't even really think that matters to Ja. The only way I really limiting Ja is Ja himself right now. Um, that's a tough one. I guess just out of floor right now, the Grizzly has lost a couple. The Suns seem to be hitting on some cylinders. They're not over the top, but finding their groove. And when Devin Booker is on, Devin Booker is on. Truthfully, and that game that he had last night might just be the game that he needs to get himself going. So I gotta say with Cody too again. On this one, I gotta go with the Phoenix.
Woo! I'm going against the grain, people. I'm going against the grain. I get back my guy Ja
Uh-huh.
and the Memphis Grizzlies. So that's it, people. You got it. Cody and Rayvon teaming up this week in predictions. Your boy solo on his own for each prediction. So just to give you guys a quick rundown, Jazz for the win for Rayvon and Cody. I got the Hawks to win, so Trae Young better step it up this week. Then for Phoenix and Memphis, Rayvon and Cody again got Phoenix, and myself Memphis. You can follow the predictions on Instagram at Hastro Bros.
Alright.
So yo,
I just got a quick subject. I think that if we do come out on top, I think I'm going to call myself an NBA expert on the next show as well.
Hell to
What?
the no. Hell to the
What?
no. Hell no. Come on, man.
Yo,
Don't let
we'll
us get to
see.
your head now.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We've already seen an upset in predictions
Yeah.
from last week.
Yeah, from the Heat.
Some unexpected things happening. So who knows, man?
Mhm.
Obviously, I went against the grain because, well, for the first prediction, I was definitely not sure. I haven't been following those teams. Haven't seen any of their games actually, and I just decided to predict first so that people wouldn't think I'd be following Rayvon and my predictions. And yeah, for the second one, I just like how Ja been playing, and hopefully the Grizzlies could get it together this week. So moving on from NBA, people, we're gonna move on to MMA and boxing, but we can start with MMA first. And you know that this weekend was a super hype weekend. If you guys get a chance to see the clips that we can try to show you today,
Hopefully we
people,
don't have to do
yo,
that.
yo, trust me, this weekend was hype. It was all UFC. Boxing was exciting as well. But like I said, we can start with UFC. Cody, let's talk about the main event. Usman versus Covington for the welterweight championship.
I want
Light
the
it up.
people. I want the people to know how hype this fight was. I would normally take notes for you guys just to give play by plays as to what occurred during the fights. I had no interest in doing it. I had zero interest in picking up a pen and paper. I give y'all anything. That was one of the best cards I have seen. I didn't watch it. I watch it fights for about 7, 8 years now. That is one of the best cards I have seen, hands down, ever. Ever. So if you miss it, you really miss it. I'm sorry. I try to evangelize. I tell all I wanna come and watch the fights. The fights good. Fights bad at this. Fights bad at baseball. Who's still watching baseball in 2021? We could be watching fights anyway.
What is
Anyway,
baseball?
what is baseball? Anyway, let me get into it. So this card had nearly 2,000 significant strikes. It had 6 KOs throughout the night. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the most significant strikes in the whole of UFC history.
You
You're
got Ric
talking
Flair on that
6
there, buddy.
kills.
Woo!
Exactly. Exactly. Then we had an insane war to start the card between Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler. But first of all, you asked me about the main event.
Yeah,
Sir, the main event was as promised. As promised, Kamaru Usman coming out on top. Yes, right. Your clips are showing, sir. I don't know what happened to you.
I don't know what happened to me.
Basketball, but they're showing. No,
I don't know.
appreciate you. I can dance at a wedding, sir. You will dance at the wedding. Right. So Usman coming out on top. Yes, sir. Against his biggest foe, Colby Covington. Let me tell you something.
Walk us through that match, Cody.
Usman dropped Colby Covington in the second round. I mean, twice in the second round. I hope the clip comes up. I hope it for y'all to see it because y'all need to see it. The uppercut was glorious. Then Colby actually came back and rallied throughout the next 2 to 3 rounds, then to really give Kamaru a real problem. And it was very surprising. I was talking about Kamaru, like last week we would have talked about Kamaru having 100% takedown defense. That was
Kamaru is Usman, people. For those of you
sorry. Yeah.
who aren't a little bit au fait with the UFC, he's just playing between first and last names.
Yep. So so he almost took him down, and he almost broke the record. I was sure Stefan was with me having a real discussion about that because it was very, very close. It was looking dangerous. So looking at the clip now, and I'm sure everybody would see what occurred. It was just absolutely insane. Coming out with a unanimous decision victory. I had it on the scorecards: 3 rounds to Usman, 2 to Colby Covington. That's how close this fight was. Honestly, looking at the significance.
How did your scorecard match up against the official
refs? Yeah. So the refs also agreed with me on this.
So when you can try to get your license and get
it's true,
man. I ain't looking for that side. I'm looking for the UFC to give me a media pass.
I see. Yeah, let me get large, man.
Yeah, very up. But this fight was so close that it was even very close, like significant strikes. So Usman had 123 significant strikes, whereas Colby Covington had 107. So it was very, very close on the feet. The real difference here was the takedown defense of Usman. Mm-hmm. Colby tried 11 times. I could not take down that boy. What does that tell you?
Pure dominance.
That man leg strong.
that
too. Then moving on to the co-main event. Co-main event, sir, is where I should get my license because let me tell you something.
Rules on sign.
Yeah, a judge, sir. A judge really nicked me the wrong way, man. He scored the fight. I ain't gonna give you all the full details, but four rounds to 1 for an atrocious decision as far as I'm concerned. I really had the other fighter winning at least 3 rounds. So we had
who was that? Rose?
Thug Rose versus Weili Zhang. I personally had Weili winning 3 of the first 3 rounds. So she had her 3 love. I could see an argument for 2-1, but I definitely can't see an argument for Rose winning 4 rounds of the fight. That was actually crazy. Mm-hmm. I have no real beef with it. I did have Weili winning the decision, but that was a bad prediction on my
part. How did the fans feel about that though? Because I know fans definitely voice in the heat of the moment.
So
it's a reaction like
the hashtag roast Twitter was just going absolutely crazy last night because it would have yeah, you saw it, you all saw it. Yeah, so I would have tweeted something about the fight and like everyone agreed with me. I actually asked in some of the forums that would be on Twitter as well. And people are having it 3 love to Weili for the first 3 as well to see where I would have scored it. Others will have it 2-1. And again, I really don't have a problem with people saying 2-1. It was a close round. But everyone was up in arms about the 4-1. Everyone was definitely up in arms about that one.
So I'm guessing that she ended up losing that.
Yeah,
That
so
was,
Bailey lost. My prediction was wrong. So it was a split decision too, by the way. Oh my god, I missed out a very key important fact here. It was a split decision. So one judge scored it for Bailey, one for Rose. And then we had a 4-1 that was absolutely retarded.
ooh. That
Come
probably
on.
would have hit that like wrong for sure
Right, right.
because having two close calls and then like a blowout as the
Yeah,
Yeah.
split decision
yeah.
is crazy.
I
Anyways,
don't know what he was seeing. That judge.
yeah.
I would take his place so I not fight Cardiff. Dana White calls him for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
What about Justin versus Chandler?
He must sit up. He must sit up.
Yo,
Oh boy.
that knockout.
Hansel was a knockout. Hansel, play the clip right. Really man, get sit down.
I hope he got the right one. Let me
I hope you
see.
got the right one too, sir. Because I do not, for the life of me, understand how the hell he survived this.
I was thinking about the other one. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It was 3 rows of pure, unadulterated violence. Oh my god, those two were just absolutely swinging at one another, just battering, and you should see the faces after. Michael Chandler's
You can see the faces. No.
Michael Chandler's face was an absolute mess, and still maintaining. I don't, or will, because that's the only thing that will keep them standing.
That's that warrior mentality,
It's
bro.
true.
Once you're in the fight, that adrenaline of the chains, of the roof,
It's
of
true.
the arena, ain't nothing that can tell you stop.
Mhm.
You've got to keep fighting. It's pure will, pure mental.
Chin. Right, I got another clip for this here. It should be the next one after. This is that was absolutely wild.
I think-
But yeah, so
Yeah.
that definitely was an instant classic for the UFC. There is no doubt that fight is going in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I could say it no.
God, these men going at it. I don't know, boy.
You
These men was
seen
a
it
holding
all,
back. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I mean, from literal second one, them was just haymakers the whole thing. I don't know why. Sorry, I just got one little tangent here. I don't know why Canelo Alvarez decided he could compete with the UFC and decided he going to box at the same time that these youngsters was fighting. There is no way Canelo Alvarez that he could compete against this card. You should have sit and waited like you did when Masvidal was fighting. Yeah, you should have done that. Then people would tune in. But anyway.
I think you gotta put that in Spanish, buddy.
Canelo.
Because the caption like
Yeah.
Alright, so I look at it. I hear someone saying, but that doesn't take for what Rose did agree with it for one being crazy in front of the judge, but still glad she retained her title. Yeah,
That's a Rose fan. That's
Yeah.
understood. That's
Yeah,
all like
so-
a definite fan comment.
yeah, I definitely agree. It doesn't take away from her, but it does mar the decision, in my opinion, especially for a
Yeah.
split decision victory. But yeah, going back to Michael Chandler, so this really sets up who's going to get in the next to the shot for the lightweight division belt. So I don't know if you know, but the current champion will be fighting on December 11th. So whoever wins that bout on December 11th definitely is going to be facing Justin Gaethje. There's no way he doesn't get to the shot after this.
Yeah, man.
Alex Pereira, that flying knee. Talk about it. Talk about it.
So,
I saw it.
so when I tell you, sir, when I say that this was my most anticipated debut in the UFC in about 3 to 4 years, I'm not kidding you. This man has 2 victories over the current current middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya has all of the hype in the world in the UFC. This man has a KO victory over him and a decision win over him as well. So to see when he comes over the UFC, and everyone's like, well, he's a kickboxer, very good kickboxer, but can he handle wrestlers and take no defense, etc. to see that he actually handled himself very, very well in the cage in the first round, and then decides that he's going to kickbox a flying knee, as you would have said, and gone. Fella just gone. Sits down, walk off KO. So like it just begs the question, like, how powerful is this youngster? Because even the
That's a knee, bro.
Yeah, bro.
No, sorry. That's a flying knee, bro. That's crazy power, because you running and you jump off and then you swing. That's 3 modes of acceleration right there, buddy. That's and to get it to the chin too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll give it a
My neck just went, body went after, like pure adulterated violence, like you said.
So like
the crowd was shut too.
Yeah, everybody was shut. It really begs the question, because they're both very similar. They're very elite, top tier technical strikers. There's no debate, no doubt about that. So it is they have the same attributes. They're both tall and lanky. They're both strong. But it seems like Pereira has more power. So now, who wins in the octagon? I'm not saying that he deserves a title shot after one victory. I'm definitely not saying that. But if he puts 2, 3, 4 wins together, right now in the middleweight division, there's no one left for Izzy except for Bobby Knuckles. So, I won't mind seeing that fight very early. I'm not going to leave you.
Let it build up, man. Let it build up.
Yeah, let it build up.
Fans would like to see more of him, I guess. And if he keep enough noise, I'm pretty sure that he'll get that shot.
I will keep enough noise for him.
Get your little speaker, man.
Yeah. Let me talk about Ian Gary's one-punch knockout.
Yes, sir. So Ian Gary, another Irishman, he's saying that he's the next Conor McGregor. And with the hype that he came into the UFC with, I kind of started to believe this youngster. I don't know if he has the same vigor, but he definitely got the same power. So, I see that Ray will put up the clip.
Yeah,
it was outstanding, and the way that he did it, the fashion he did it, he did it in style in front of Dana White as well. I think he's going to go far. He still has to work on a little bit his wrestling. He seems a little bit nervous there in the cage, but that doesn't negate for the fact that this youngster is coming in with a 8-0 in street undefeated right now. They'll stretch it to 9. Kid's got it.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Kids got it, and kids got it coming as well. So I'm pretty sure that the fans will be excited to see what's to come for him in the future. Because like when you got a lot of hype around you, you got to bring your A game every single time. When you're a fighter with hype, you can't afford to drop off. Otherwise, the fans will leave you quick, especially if it's early in your career. If it's like a good ways in, then they might understand. They might try to hear you out at the end of the fight. But usually, you got to bring your A game every single time. Otherwise, you can lose some people. Fat man, you talk about Fat Man Barnett.
Man got a name. My name is Chris.
Yo,
what's the problem?
Chris Barnett. Yo, that man athletic, yo. When I saw that kick, that was insane.
So Chris Barnett says that he's 254 pounds, but he feels 170, and that boy moves like he does.
Yo, yeah, he boying.
So honestly, I have never seen anything like that from a heavyweight ever.
Yeah, I was like, this man is to just do that. And they say I was like, what?
Yeah, so
I mean, he tried to do a black fit, but I don't know if it really worked out. But nonetheless,
I think that was the purpose for it.
Yeah.
I think he fired his back flip, and then he realized that that's as far as he could get. But that kick was sensational.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It connect, flush. It was clean. The opponent had his block up as best as he could, but it still went through, and he just pounced on him right after, got the job done. The referee did a good job in getting in there as quick as possible. But it was good. Yeah, it was entertaining.
For sure.
perfectly. And I don't have the clip here for Ray, but he even came out dancing, doing that, and be floss and
Yeah, he was on that vibe tonight.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was definitely on a vibe. So great work, Chris Barnett. Again, showed up for the Astro Bros on this show.
For sure. That cake was lovely. That cake was lovely. Any other UFC stuff you want to talk about? I know we got the submission of the night as well.
No, well, subs of the night don't compare to the kills that we had. So I skipping our whole section for this time, but we had the kill of the night. Yeah, we had the kill of the night. Chito Vera versus Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar is a legend in the UFC, a former lightweight champion, fighting at featherweight. Couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it. The front kick straight to the face. I'm sure Ray had the video loaded up for you guys.
I got you.
Then, yeah, he's my guy, you know. And then also, I also had a still there for these people to see how nasty he did Frankie Edgar. Chito Vera is a dirty boy. I can't believe he did that. So that was a nasty kill for the night. I mean, we had a lot, but that one really was the dirtiest for me.
So any clips coming up? Any clips coming up next week? Any not clips but fights, sorry, cards. Any interesting cards for the finals?
We got Matt Sullivan fighting next week, but I think
you don't seem too happy with this fight.
We should have put a warning on this graphic, because this graphic may be dangerous. Whoa.
Yeah, man. My real thing to look out for is Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane, because Francis would have passed. I don't know if I give Ray this clip. I don't know. I'm not sure, but he would have passed Cyril Gane in the hallways last night at UFC. His future opponent. He set the tone early. He basically said this in the play. This in the Playboy thing. We and the friends, we and the boys, you can get the smoke. It's just gonna be a dirty fight. You know, Francis Ngannou got one of the greatest, nastiest, deadliest KO punches you could ever get in the world of MMA or boxing for that matter. Probably Deontay Wilder level, if I'm being quite honest with you, quite candid. So if it was Cyril Gane, I still think that man's win for sure. So that's coming up early January next year.
You got some time. So mark it on the calendar.
These cards come.
Yeah, I was saying mark it on the calendar because November can finish pretty quick. The hype of Christmas and everything can happen, and you can forget all about this fight. You can fly.
Just October.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So before we head off to our second break, let's talk about Canelo and Caleb Plant for a little bit. Like the boxing fans predicted, we knew that Canelo would have delivered. Cody also mentioned this last week that even if he's not 100%, still expect Canelo to deliver on the night, and that's exactly what he did. He delivered, and it was a knockout.
Yeah,
serious. Go ahead.
My Twitter mentions were going crazy the whole week. So this even before last night. Last night, guys, if y'all look at the Twitter, y'all see that shit was well. Anyway, so earlier this week, I was having discussions with boxing fans all over the world, actually for their opinions, hearing what they had to say, giving mine as well. And one fan stood out to me. He was saying that Caleb Plant would have won some earlier the rounds, and then Canelo would have come on later, and then by 11th he would have finished Caleb Plant. That's
more accurate. Yeah, that's definitely more accurate thing. Yeah.
I wish I could remember who tweeted it, or if I could find it.
So you could give him a shout out.
Yeah, but shout out to that guy, man. He really predicted everything perfect, because I would have stated I didn't think he would have won, but somebody was giving me a feeling that Caleb Plant had the tools to really give.
He's slick, he's a slick boxer. He started pretty decent, doing his thing, doing his slick movements and stuff. The jab, everyone's talking about his jab, and he did show that. But everybody know that Canelo starts slow. You know, like he's a fighter that will come out, he will sass you out, he will let you do your thing. So imagine an adult dog versus a puppy, right? it's like it's like no, like it's as though he comes out, let the young guy do whatever he wants. Does like do what you want. I'm just gonna watch you, and he's going to eventually find loopholes in all that action that you're doing, and that's how
Yeah.
he kind of picks you down. You know, like he watches very closely, and he makes sure that he's doing enough to win the round or make you work for the round, but at the same time he's planning his strike. And when he let loose that left hook and it connect, oh my god, that was it. The toes went, not just the legs, the toes went, man. And Caleb was off balance, so there were two knockdowns. And the final one that did it, like the last shot was a body shot, and that body shot probably just sealed the deal. But the left hook to the head, then the straight, it was about two straight rights to the temple, and then a body shot, and that was night nurse for Caleb Plant. Valiant fight, valiant effort, good talk, but like Canelo said in the press conference, you're not on this level. You're not on this level, bro. So I mean, he did a good job. I'll say, keep fighting, keep your head up. You fight one of the best in the world. Come short of one of the best. That's not really like, yeah. Well, he is best now because he's unified champion. Mexico's unified champion, first unified champion. Yeah, undisputed. Sorry, champion. And what can I say, man? It was a good show. It was a good show.
So earlier in the fight, that you would have said, Canelo's definitely gathering data and information on Caleb Plant to find the weaknesses.
So tell you
exactly what he does to everyone.
Let the puppy run around in the park.
Bite his foot ever. But yeah, in doing the research for the fight, you can see that Caleb Plant did not have enough. It didn't see that Caleb Plant had a lot of power in his hands to give Canelo a
he's a boxer.
Threat. Yeah, he's a boxer, but Canelo, like, looking at the records, Canelo had way more. Although Canelo has more fights, but in terms of percentage wins, there are more KO percentage wins for Canelo than there were for Caleb Plant. Even in trying to do the video that we put him on the Hardwood page, it was very difficult to find finishes for Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
So gathering that data and then realizing that Canelo's slow started, but Caleb Plant does not have the power to even give Canelo that knockout threat. See the deal for me right there. But he does have the boxing ability. But then it would have come down to outboxing Canelo for 12 rounds. There's no way he's going to do that. No way.
Yeah, because I mean, we all know too that Canelo comes on strong. Like he maintains that power, that punching power, coming on to the final rounds as well. So that's a plus in his arsenal.
Yeah.
So that's it for our combat combat sports section. We're gonna break just for a few minutes, then we're gonna come back and talk F1 and other sports. So stay tuned, people, because we got some lovely talks coming up for you guys. We are back, people. We are back to talk about F1 and other sports. So we can dive right into the F1. Um, continuing from last week, I mentioned that it was Checo Perez's home race in Mexico City. He's the only Mexican driver on the grid, and he did a very good job this weekend. In practice sessions, the Red Bulls were fastest. The Mercedes were trying to catch them. I mean, the Red Bulls had like 6 tenths of a second on top of the Mercedes. And in F1, even though like that's a small number in F1 and in racing, that's a huge gap. And that gap could grow every single lap. So you can imagine within 2 laps, you up a second on the guy that's 6 times slower than you. So yeah, all throughout practice, the Red Bulls looked really great. The Mercedes did a good job in getting back the speed that was needed in order to out qualify the Red Bulls. The Mercedes actually locked out the grid. So for the race that happened today, they were 1-2 at the start. And it was an insane start, peoples. Like, honestly, when the lights went out, we had Valtteri Bottas, who got pole position in qualifying. He was really quick over the weekend, but unfortunately, down in that first turn, like racing is all about that first turn. If you could get through the first turn clean without any incidents, then you're good to go. You set up to win the race. But the first turn had accidents and yellow flag was out. Yellow flag was out. They had a couple of touches in there. They were 3 wide going into the first corner. 3 wide meaning 3 cars side by side trying to get into the corner
That's
first.
scary. That's
Yeah.
scary, yo. That's
Yo,
the scariest part
go-
in any racing. In NASCAR, all the things when it first started, it has to be so scary because any mess up there, everybody
Yeah.
can crash it into everybody.
Buddy, yep.
In cycling too,
Exactly.
same thing in cycling at the start.
Yep.
I never forget watch
Handlebars rubbing and
yeah,
everything.
a whole set of men fought on so Tour de France. It was like well.
Yeah, it's crazy because everybody trying to get that
That position.
perfect start, right?
Yeah.
You want track position is everything, especially in some of the tracks where it's hard to overtake.
Mhm.
You want to be out front because then the people at the back gotta try to work hard in order to get past you. There's some methods and tactics that the teams will use, like the undercut, which is like if you're within a certain range behind the car ahead, let's say I think it's about 1.3 or so seconds. As long as you're in that range, the undercut will work. And the undercut works like once you pit before the guy ahead, you'll have enough time to get ahead of him when he pits. Because obviously he's gonna pit after you. So the undercut is like, okay, I'm gonna pit first so that when I get on the straight for next time, I can pass you and you will come out behind me. And in a race where overtaking is difficult, teams try to manage their race in such a way where they make sure that they stay ahead as often as possible. The same thing happened in Austin last week, Austin, Texas, that race when Max Verstappen won by I don't know less than a second maybe or just about a second. Lewis got in front of him first in the first lap, and he was following Lewis for the entire time, and he went you call it going aggressive, meaning that you pit really early. So he went aggressive, did the undercut, got that track position, and he was able to maintain that track position for most of the race. So he ended up winning. And this weekend, just a couple hours ago, like I said, the first turn was crazy. We had accident with the pole position driver, which is Valtteri Bottas. He got spun by Daniel Ricciardo, and Ricciardo lost his front wing, which is that front part of the car. Very crucial part of the car as well, because that helps with the downforce of the car, especially when you're going at that speed. Yeah, go ahead. You want to say something?
No. I'm just thinking about what you were going to say about the importance of the front part.
Yeah, so that's an aerodynamic part, and that helps to keep the car glued basically to the ground, creating that downforce as you need, especially when you're going around high speed corners. Definitely need that downforce in order to keep the car glued to the ground. Otherwise, your car can do a lot of stuff that you don't want it to do. But yeah, like I said, there was also an accident with Yuki Tsunoda. Um, and I think it was Nikita Mazepin in that Haas. So both of those guys ended up not being able to complete the race within the first lap. So that's crazy. We also had an incident in qualifying session. The guy crashed, and kudos to Aston Martin's mechanics, man, because they had one night to get that car up and running. And if you saw the damage, they had a lot of work to do within those couple of hours. They were probably up all night trying to get that car correct. But yeah, the race restarted and we had Max Verstappen in first because he managed to make it through the corner. He got like a serious slipstream from Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. And actually, he mentioned that he's happy that he was in third after qualifying rather than being in second because he knew that he would have a better chance getting around those guys in the slipstream on the straight into the first corner. So that happened, and Max led the race from beginning to end. So that was cool to see, and he also had the help of Sergio Perez, who also finished podium this time. So Lewis Hamilton came second in the end. Perez finished in third. So that's a third podium for Sergio Perez, and I think that's the first Mexican driver to actually finish on podium in a Mexican Grand Prix. So he made history.
Kudos to him, man.
Yeah, man, that's pretty impressive. But he was strong all weekend. He and Max were trying to beat Valtteri and Lewis for qualifying, and honestly, everybody thought that the Red Bulls had it for qualifying and they were going to close out, but it didn't happen. The fight that was going on for most of the race was Lewis and Checo. They were pretty close. Like even in the last lap, at one point they were less than a second apart. So Perez had a chance, I guess, but he wasn't close enough. He wasn't quite close enough in order to make the DRS effective. For those of you who don't know, the DRS gives you like 14 miles per hour extra velocity or speed in order to pass the guy ahead on straights. Like there are a few DRS zones that the FIA, which is the governing body for F1 racing, they allot that to some cars, and if you're within a certain range, you get access to it, and then you could overtake by pressing the button that gives you extra boost, stuff like that. But all in all, it was an intense race from the beginning. That put Valtteri Bottas at the back at the restart. Also put Daniel Ricciardo at the back, who would have qualified high up. I can't remember if it was 6th or 7th that he qualified. But yeah, that weekend, like this race would have really hurt him because he had a chance of actually putting on some points for McLaren, which is the team that he drives for, in the fight against Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, which is the championship that each team fights for. So there's Drivers' Championship, which is like the solo championship, and then there's Constructors' Championship. And yeah, that would have definitely hurt them. So McLaren finished behind Ferrari this weekend. So I'm pretty sure Ferrari is ahead in points. Max extends his lead to 18 points. Valtteri Bottas put on some fresh tires there at the end of the race in order to get that fastest lap point. So there's a point for fastest lap as well. So that's like a bonus point. Max had it coming on to the final 2 laps or so of the race. And Mercedes decided, you know what, Valtteri come in, try to get that quick lap in so we can take that point from Max Verstappen, because obviously the less points Lewis has to gain in order to catch and pass Max, the easier it would be for him. So taking away that extra point would have been a nice tactic, but Max is in form, man, and if Max is in form, it's going to be difficult to pass him. I think he has a good look for the championship this year, and hopefully we can get a nice nail-biting finish at the end. Hopefully Lewis could get some more points in there and try to catch him. But hey, it's been nothing but good fun for F1, and I hope you guys who are following F1 stay tuned, because this weekend coming up, it's the race at Brazil, Interlagos, so don't miss it at all. I race this track on video games, and this is going to be a quick one, so it's pretty good and exciting to see what's going to come this weekend. So yeah, that's pretty much it for F1 people. I don't know if anyone in the chat are F1 fans and have any comments to make, but if you do, we can get to those once you put them in. So don't be afraid. Drop them in the chat. I'll be delighted to actually address some of those comments. But we're going to move on to cricket. I know earlier, like this is what, like a few episodes ago, we talked about West Indies and how we should rally around. I was the big proponent of rallying around the West Indies. Still am. Should always rally around your team. But as defending champions of the T20 World Cup, they made some grievous mistakes in their squad pick and decision making, and I don't know, man. They have been struggling throughout this entire competition. Cody, you got anything constructive to say, or you can just light up?
Look at the disappointment on Cody face.
I had two people come to me this week and asked me to speak about the West Indies cricket team on this stream here today. The only reason that I'm doing this is for two of them. But let me tell you what I said. I have no interest in West Indies cricket team. I have no interest in Christopher Henry Gale. I got an interest in I ain't got an interest in none of them. I ain't got an interest in Darren Brown or Pollard and all that play at Rapport. Oh, a bunch of old jokers that care they playing off of nostalgia merchants that make that all that could be. God.
What's a nostalgia merchant?
Because all it could be, you pick a team in 2016 and then when you work out, you tell yourself 5 years later, oh yeah, this is my team again. Like Chris Gayle for 2 years. Chris Gayle can't even bend down and feel the ball probably. Everything kick. All of a sudden, he's your workout winner. He can come good. Chris Gayle scored past 20 runs. He won down tournament. All of a sudden, he's your winner.
Yeah. Wait, Chris Gayle was in foreign even before that. Chris Gayle played cricket.
Chris Gayle scored runs in 3 years. What? 3 years. Oh, but all of a sudden he was cut good because of he retirement tour. That's basically all it was. He retirement tour. That's all it was. See it for Ravi Rampal. We got good bowlers boy players and Ravi Rampal bowling in cricket. He can't.
Big guts, Ravi Rampal. Party guts, Ravi Rampal.
Well, to me, that all that was pure politics with the cricket. You know, politics is captain the cricket team. Right?
Probably, man.
And they just play Pollard and friends. Basically, that's all it was.
That's what should have named. That should have come up with Pollard and friends. Not the West Indies. P and F. That's we should have seen anything instead of W and A.
That's how people like Marvelous, I think, associated with that. Because he ain't playing a bit. He ain't playing a bit until everyone crave for just go to play cricket and Ross just play cricket. All of a sudden, though, they make a team, the man win a match. When I tell one of the weirdest time from before, Chris Gayle even get dropped to no. That's not how it is. Chris Gayle played the last match.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Chris Gayle scored the rest. Wait. Before
go on, let it all out. Like, I can left you. Go on.
It's a safe place.
I forget what Leonard Simmons can't have so cut real blasted.
He was on the team.
Yes. What the whole match? Mama, I sit down and watch that bad player cricket in 2008. He work out at Kensington. They still play my cricket.
You was
like Russell Purdy about the players. Yeah. Like you got a real cricketer. You proper cricketers. Boy,
that's actually what I wanted to get to. Why the youngsters ain't playing the cricket?
Exactly.
But he meant
why we got main 40 and 30.
We gotta be baffled, Hatson. Listen to me. No, listen. They may play CPL cricket. They may play CPL cricket in the summer. It is October, November. These men play this tournament. Man, like Russellford, the batting real good. The Drake's come and show us on farm and all that sort of thing. proper young cricketers that will show consistent form throughout the tournament in CPL. Men get reward for it. The men in top form, I think they can't play the cricket. I understand it. The men pick the men. Come on, man.
It's hard, man.
Come
Like,
on.
There should be some type of criteria when it comes to fitness and performance and all these things that selectors should select players on. They should select players like you were saying based on nostalgic performances.
Yes,
that's crazy. You gotta be disciplined enough as a selective board in order to choose players based on the merit, based on the form, based on the youth, the athleticism. Like you say, Chris Gill out there kicking out the ball, playing a different sport, world cricket going on. Okay. I mean, sometimes it's work, but you can't be doing it all the time. Chris Gill is the man that can chase after a ball that going to the boundary. That maybe a younger player could catch and stop runs from being made, or making it harder for the other team to stop runs from being made. But it's West Indies. And we've been dealing with this for a long time too. This ain't no happen.
The man will hit a ball and the man cannot run the single, or he definitely can't run two. The man cannot run two. Come on. You have beer dot balls. You have so many dot balls. Like, these are a big headed team. All we can do is hit sixes at dot balls. Sixes at dot balls. Come on, the game evolved since 2006. So you got to be able to rotate the straight, get runs up. Because if you watch proper teams like Australia, I think, right? Check it. You make a hit a boundary, one boundary or two boundaries in the over. And then rest is single. That's another 50 runs per over though. But no, you just look at it hit. You just look at hit 2 sixes. Because I can curse by this stream, right? All the jackasses is doing right. Listen to me. All the jackasses doing right. Hit a boundary, guilt. Hit a boundary, guilt. Dot, hit a boundary, guilt. Jackasses, man, getting over 56 and also low score. Come on, man.
Teams like Afghanistan outperforming. You see him team, man, that with about there, making their sport outperforming West Indies.
All right, there's a bunch of swipers. Swiping.
Nah.
You might know easing Dora. But yeah, like it's definitely. I don't know, man. That was just poor.
That made me sad to be a West Indian watching that tournament.
But as West Indians, we're supposed to rally.
I rally around that.
Yeah, definitely gotta get it right. I've seen other teams allow them younger players to play and progress and perform in the sport. But we like to hold on on memories, and you see that we pay for it.
But the thing
can't
is,
be playing memories.
Like that should be a team that I know who's the boy on the team, because I watched cricket in so long. Whatever team on the time, what it should be saying, well, who's that? If we get away saying, they should at least got something. He over here talking about Lando Simmons. I can't believe Lando Simmons. I can't believe it.
When he said Robbie was playing, I was confused because to have all we bowlers that could definitely play a part, in my opinion, better than Ravi Rampal, ain't playing. Like he said, you playing memories and you playing nostalgic players, and that's not a way to grow the sport.
But this West Indies cricket boy that we deal with, I expect it's more better, but you don't have to expect it, man.
But you really can't say much because after all, you're just a fan, right? And
I'm a fan. I can keep noise, brother. I can keep noise. And let me know, right? I want to be known to everybody on the stream. We can clip it out after one. Anything that I say on the street, I would say to anybody face that I talking about. I would tell them this was straight. If Chris Gill was in front of me right now, I would tell you.
You tell you go home.
You had no right. You had no right, guy. If you want to retirement tour, do it. So, man, here you want to play one game or whatever. You want to clap to the fans or something. But don't come out here and play that you want to be in a serious tournament like a World Cup and then want to do a retirement tour. Come on, man. Man, it's serious.
That was probably he retirement plan. They get our money. They get our money on dick.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, that's exactly what we got to deal with as West Indian fans.
Dealing with it though. I know what you're talking about.
Well, when I say deal with it, I mean carry to your bed and we're cutting next morning and think about it. But
I think no, as a whole like region, like I think a lot of cricket fans don't give boy West Indies. If the win, like you gonna be real surprised. But if the lose, the boy loses sleep no more. We know what to expect. We expect subpar work from these men. These men don't score a rise. Look at the men averages. Look at the men wickets at his tip. Or whatever. It don't be nothing. It don't be nothing. You got a man that averaging 26. And also everything and doing as you top your team. That's your best player. If we move within a test cricket, right? Let me tell you something. Kira Powell is scoring around, I swear to God, yo, it's 7 years. That man has scored 100 in 7 years. And you may tell me that he's still over there about him, Craig Braffett. Come on.
crazy.
Come on. That man is I know side me up with this foolishness because I scared he be happy. We're fighting, and it's a good lad. They happy. God damn it, he could bring But don't talk, man. I want to carry on with a stream. I have a good show.
But it does the end, boy.
That's the end. That's a good way to end it.
That's a good way to end it. Yo.
Wait. Sorry. So what you asked me? Sorry. So what you asked me thoughts on the saga after Islam Tarch? Okay, his fight if ever Islam looks great. Yeah.
With some UFC comments. Could you repeat that? I don't think everyone heard it. Like read it for everybody.
Okay, so Christian is saying in the chat thoughts on I can't pronounce it. Honestly, it's a Russian name. I'm sorry, guy, but I know the T word. I know who you're talking about. After Islam Tarch,
Sarukian, something like that.
Whatever the case may be, I really don't know how to pronounce it. After Islam Tarch, okay, his fight with Islam looks great. Yeah, I think he's one on the race too. I think that he definitely needs a shout out. So good work on shouting him out on the stream. I would be interested if you're still here though. I just want to know who you think he should fight next because that's a real question too.
Yeah, we will definitely get back to that in the chat or in the comment section or something. So you can put that in the comment section. But that's it for our stream today. If you guys enjoyed the stream, please leave a like on the video. You can leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying what you're seeing and hearing, and share the fun with your friends, man. Share the stream to whoever you think would be interested in the stream, in the live talks that we bring out every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Again, thank you for watching. I don't know if Sir Cody, want to say anything after being so disappointed?
I got nothing else to say, Harrison.
Yeah. Rayvon, anything from you? Any closing words?
It's a fun night. It's always a pleasure chopping it up with you guys. Glad to see the turnout for the people in the chat today. Thanks for coming out.
Appreciate you.
As I always say, if you want to take part in the stream, you want to get on the stream to share your opinions, you always send us an email at hashturbros@gmail.com. Be welcome and are open to anyone who's interested in coming on the stream. So just shoot your shot, send an email, and we work it out.
Shooters shoot. So with that, thank you guys again for coming through. We'll see you guys next week. Astro Bros out.